Welcome to another episode of Summing Up. For those which are new to the show, Summing Up is about the latest XBase++ update from Alaska Software. Today we're talking about build 817 and 832. The reason why we're talking about two builds is that I had a great summer vacation with my family. So, before we start talking about the two builds, let me explain what happened between these two builds and the one before. We released an emergency update. Reason for that was that around 5 days after we released an update, a regular monthly update, the first customer tickets came in which reported hangups of the XBase++ workbench. And because hangups of the working environment of a developer is a critical issue, we decided we need to escalate that. And 2 days later, on the 7th of July, the root cause has been identified by development, and we have been able to provide customers workarounds to that issue. But also, the resolution of that problem was scheduled. And on the 13th of July, we released an emergency update. It was build 813. And the 13th of July, between the 7th of July and the 13th of July, there was also a weekend, so we had just 3 to 4 workdays. So this emergency update was the first time we applied our new emergency procedure, which allows us to create an update out of that regular update cycle, which is each 30 days. By the end of each month, we are releasing a new update with new features and new fixes. And since the Windows Creators Update, we seek for ways to make an update even faster, because some emergency situation happened and we had no procedures in place. We need to work them out. We did so, and with that situation, it was the first time. We learned a lot with that emergency update. We streamlined our procedures furthermore, and hopefully the next time we'll be able to deliver an emergency update even faster. Just some inside note. So let's talk about build 817 and 832. Since the 807 build was a very feature-rich build with the new external command, the asynchronous and synchronous callback feature, and the changes to pbuild with the debug and release build and the management of the intermediate files, we decided that the next updates are focusing on quality only, which means fixes, changes, and things like that. So build 817, which was released by the end of July, just includes 12 work items, 5 PDRs. It's quality only. Basically, the same applies to build 832, which was released by the end of August. It includes fixes and some minor features. 17 work items have been closed. 8 PDRs have been closed. So, yeah, it's just quality. If you want to know which specific PDR or what we have changed, you can always start up the workbench, open up in View Help the help file. Then the home of the help file, which is the welcome screen. Here you find a link. The changelog for the build can be found here. So if you click on that, you will see here the new features we added to that update and the fixes and changes we made at that update. If you want to see the complete history, you can go here through the closed work item lists of each build we released. And there you can find descriptions of the new features and the fixes. Said that, with the qualities updates, there have been basically 3 hotspots. Hotspots are areas in which we have resolved or fixed multiple PDRs or issues. The first area was support of debugging of web applications when under Windows 10. For whatever reason, Microsoft introduced a behavior which broke our debugging feature in XBase++ 2.0 if you are using the Edge browser under Windows 10 as the default browser. We fixed that, which was a couple of related issues in terms of debugging of web application if Edge is the primary browser. Then we fixed a couple of issues related to the XML browser and touch support. We also included the capability to disable touch. Some customers requested that because they wanted to avoid interferences at their end user sites. And we fixed some issues in the local SQL and the universal SQL engine of XSpace++ when you're doing SQL against DBF tables and arrays or a mixture of them and joins. There have been issues with respecting the decimal settings when doing floating point operations. And there was also a scenario where the date type was treated as a string, which led to wrong join and sorting behaviors. All that is fixed, so we move forward here again. So, said that, hope you enjoyed today's summing up show and see you next time.